we cheers first? Let's cheers.
Yes.
Tom.
Cheers.
Welcome back. Victoria,
Thank you.
welcome to the Viall Files.
Thanks for having me back.
Great to have you guys back. Cheers. Let's take a sip.
Yes.
This is Tom's.
Yes. It's called Tom's.
It's called Tom's. Tom's Good Lovin'. Brought to you by the good men of Tom Schwartz and Tom Sandoval.
Yes, it's a port blended bourbon.
Oh my God, it's strong.
Oh, it's 90 proof.
Wow.
It's like a tiny sip.
It's good.
Right?
It's good.
It's
Nice
smooth,
done.
right?
Yeah.
You feel like you taste the port finish on the end.
I gotta say, I'm not a connoisseur. It's very good though.
Thank you, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
I'd absolutely drink it. I will absolutely drink it. I am absolutely drinking it. Tom, I'm really excited to have you here.
I was a little nervous coming back here.
Yeah, I would imagine. I honestly thought there was no way you would come back on this show.
It took some convincing on your part, and Dylan helped. Dylan Efron. He definitely helped.
That was
Yeah.
we appreciate Dylan. Yeah, I think a lot of people will be surprised to see you here as well.
Good. We like surprises,
We
right?
do like surprises. Do you want to talk about the first episode at all?
Oh, man. That was a lot. I was going through a lot. Obviously, I was in a very different place in my life. And yeah, I mean, first off, I know that we had talked, it was my fault. Like, we had texted that we were,
I'm glad you acknowledged that.
No, it was fully.
I was actually there right before he showed up.
Yeah.
Like I was with him.
You were. Oh, you were.
I was
you
with
guys
him.
were. You guys were dating then.
Yeah.
I was with him. He had no clue he had a
So
podcast.
what
And I actually asked him because he was full on bawling his eyes out right before he even saw you because he was talking to me about his friend
Yeah,
Ali.
you mentioned that.
I'm actually wearing Ali's shirt.
And we had a night. We had a long night.
Yeah.
And I asked him like the night before, and I was like, "Do you have anything tomorrow?" He goes, "No, I'm good." And then all of a sudden, call comes, and I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I'm like, "This could not be more terrible."
What happened is I had a
He was
Google
going through
calendar
it.
with my manager, and we had set up a date for me to come in here. And then you had texted me like, I don't know, a few days, 5 days earlier to change the date, but you had texted me directly.
Mm-hmm.
And so it didn't go on my Google calendar. But I was like, no, it's fine. It's fine. It was
okay.
my fault.
I did text you like several times just to remind you.
Okay.
I didn't know these things.
Listen, we're here now.
We're here
That's
now.
all that matters. It was quite the episode.
Yeah, it was. I had been up. We had gone out. I'd been up all night. You process grief at different
Sure.
times, and at that point, that was like one of the first times it like really hit me that like about my friend, emotionally and mentally about everything with my friend Ali, who had passed away, and it just was like I was just up all night, just like sobbing and like just like talking about him. I was like really sad because obviously I was like I really liked her, and I really wanted her to meet him, and like just that whole just all of it.
That was the first time he ever poured his heart out, like ever even spoke about him to me.
Oh, really?
And so if you notice on your last podcast, his eyes are super puffy. It was just from crying.
Yeah.
You
And
weren't
he was
inebriated at all?
Oh no, I mean,
Oh, he was drinking.
Okay,
Yeah,
he
for
was-
sure. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We had both been drinking.
I
If I
wasn't
would have
sure.
known, I would have been like,
Oh,
no,
I
we're
mean,
going
I
to
would have
bed.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely.
How long was
forgot.
that? Wait, it was over a year ago.
Over
Yeah.
here,
So it
So
was in
yeah.
January. I know that. You've come a long way.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I feel like I
you-
have. I actually wasn't even planning on drinking this week, but you're like, let's open the bottle. I was like, all right.
Okay. All right. How did you guys meet in the first place?
We met through a friend. It's kind of funny. My friend, she was like, "Oh, do you want to go to this show?" And I'm being honest, I looked at the phone on a YouTube.
Tom Sandoval and the
Most extras.
Most
yeah.
extras.
And I'm
that
just being
show?
honest. I was like, do I really have to go to this? Like, come on. Because
Thanks,
it was
babe.
just, I'm sorry.
Thanks, babe.
It wasn't the best video. It wasn't the best, clip that they could have showed me. But then, I mean, I show up, I go there, and I swear I'm almost front row, just like, woo! I'm like, it's so much better in person, first off. And then now I'm like, here I am. I don't have no idea how this happened.
So you
but
went to it. You're kind of
I
like,
didn't even.
I say this with love and kind of fun, but like you're kind of like
What?
a groupie. You
No,
know?
I didn't actually-
but like you went to a show and you met the star of the show.
My
Well, you know what's
friend
fun?
actually liked him at the time. Don't worry.
You stole him.
No.
No, I'm not.
Did you?
I'm far from
When
that.
you went to the show, like,
Mhm.
and someone's like, let's go to the show, and it says Tom Sandoval and the most extras. Like, how aware of like, not that I'm not trying to get into Scandoval here, but how aware of Scandoval were you?
0%.
You had no
0%. Give me
idea.
a lie detector test. I don't care
No, I
who
believe
believes
it.
me, who does not. I had no clue. I mean, to be honest, like, be for real, like, he probably wishes that I knew about the scandal
Yeah.
beforehand because I'm finding things out in real time. I'm going through my phone. My algorithm's fully changed.
Well, in
And
past tense.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, during the relationship, I'm looking over, I'm like, just giving him a dirty look. And he's like, what did I do? And I'm like, you did what? Where? Are you fucking kidding me?
What if you would have known? What do you think that would have done?
I mean, I would have not thought the same about him whatsoever. Like, I got to know him not knowing anything
Mhm.
and hearing his sides of whatever. And, you know, like I said, I've definitely seen not so great things that, if anything, the nicest way I could say this, if I was the other girl, if I was his ex and there was a little secret camera, I definitely feel like I've been his karma. But
What do you mean by that?
Meaning, like, I've given him a lot of shit.
Tom.
Because
Okay.
I'm a girl and, like, I've never
Yeah.
cheated in my entire life. I would never be a homewrecker. And I'm not for any of that.
Okay.
And I think he was matched with me for a reason because he has grown so much. I'm so proud of him. I really am. And,
Thanks, baby.
you know, I think that he needed a little tough.
She kicks my ass. Because it's like, you know,
I
if
don't
she would've-
anymore.
If she
I had to
would've-
stop.
If she would have seen everything that happened, you know, it's like time goes by, you get over it, you've been there, done that. But it's like, as I would have almost rather her have done that, you know, had that happen, you know, beforehand, because then it's like, you know, we're getting deeper into the relationship and it's like, oh, she's seeing this, somebody sent her this, somebody tagged her in this, and it's like,
Well, and
like,
it scares the shit out of me.
yeah, of
Like-
course. I
It must have
fully
been pretty
understand.
overwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, the person that I'm fully in love with, and I'm like, just looking and I'm like, I can't.
How shortly after you go to the show, you meet him?
Yeah, I want to, because we kind of breezed over that.
Yeah.
So she came to the show, and then I had to leave right away because we were filming our finale. It was season 11 finale in San Francisco, Kyle Chan's event. So I had to leave directly after that. I never even met her that night. And then cut to our premiere of
Vanderpump,
of
season
special
one, yeah.
no special forces.
Oh, okay.
So were you there? I'm trying to remember. Were you there at Craig's?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were there,
Yeah.
right? Yes. Okay. So do you remember two girls coming up and
You were there? Oh, wait.
with
I think
JoJo Siwa like
after dinner we left.
pretty quickly?
Yeah.
So
immediately.
her and her friend came towards the end and they knocked on the door because she recognized me from
Well, like I said, my friend,
show.
my
Yeah,
friend
no,
liked, my friend liked him.
from the Most Extra show that she
Yeah,
went
yeah,
to.
okay,
She
yeah.
was like, "Oh, that's that guy that you whatever," and so
that your friend was into.
So my friend had a crush on him. They didn't like really know each other or anything.
Did your friend know about?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
she didn't know. No,
oh really?
her friend did.
Oh, okay.
And was telling her about it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So somebody's mom told another mutual friend. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
So we were a group of 3 friends. She did not know about it. The other one's mom told the other girl, which told her, you know, and I'm dating this other guy at the time. I'm not even paying attention. Like
Yeah.
I fully was dating another guy.
Like boyfriend and girlfriend, or just dating?
Just dating, but like we were dating. Like
Okay.
so that night at Craig's, I was like, go say something. He's right there. He's just a normal person. Just say something. And then so I walked her over because I was trying to help her out, you know. And
We all ended up hanging out afterwards. I don't know if you remember. I was like, "Hey, you guys want to go do like karaoke or something?"
I do remember something about karaoke being mentioned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like JoJo was kind of into it. There was a
Yeah.
couple other people that were into it. I was like, "Do you want to come with us or meet us over there?" And we went to Saddle Ranch, and then nobody ended up showing up, so it was just the 3 of us. And so we hung out, and we ended up like hanging out, and like we had a great night. But it was pretty obvious like I wasn't into her friend, and I was not that I was into her or anything. I just was like, we're just having a good time. It's
Yeah.
very casual, and then like months went by. Like we're talking like end of October.
well, you can rewind there. Like so my friend tried to kiss him. Sorry. tried to kiss him, and he just panicked and shoves like a candle of him and Schwartz, like some what was that?
Oh, there's these like
He
church
got so
candles
nervous.
that we have that are like Schwartz is Joseph and me is like baby Jesus in his
So like
arms with a trumpet.
sacrilegious. Yeah.
He just
in his
panics and looks down and
hand.
goes, "You want a
They're
candle?"
like, I didn't make
Why
them.
did you have a
Somebody made 'em.
candle with you?
Somebody made
Just
these
sitting
candles.
there.
We would sell them at Tom Tom because I had the Tom Tom
Sure,
clock.
okay.
It's a spoof candle.
Gotcha.
And so I just was like, oh, here, do you want a candle? And like, I don't know. I kind of panicked. I wasn't like, my mindset was not there. And
And then on the car on the way back home, because I was taking her home, I was like, I don't think that he really likes you. And she's like, no shit. He gave me a candle. And then she started dating another guy,
Okay.
and months went by. Then we hung out on Halloween.
yeah.
And on Halloween,
Well, did you,
I
like,
broke it
and
off
you
with
and-
my guy.
Okay, on.
That wasn't
Like
a whole...
you were hanging out with Tom, you just call him up and be like, hey,
Yeah, like...
while you were hanging out with Tom, you
So
ended it?
the first night we actually like really hung out, like before then, and when me and the other girl and him would hang out, him and I would vibe more, like because we listen to the same music, and she listens completely different music, and I bond with people on music, like.
Mhm.
But it was more of like, whenever I have a girlfriend that likes a guy, I bro them out. I'm like, what's up, dude? Like whatever. Like I'm very respectful.
And we were
I
like
didn't think
that
of
for a
Tom like
long
that at
time.
all, like whatsoever. But I think like the music, like, you know, getting to know him, like not hearing about all the stuff that he did in the past, like he's a good guy. Yeah.
And then months went by before we actually like, we were friends at first. So we hung out on Halloween.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. And then like, you know, a while went by and then finally we slowly just kind of, yeah.
I got the okay. I was like, hey, is this weird? And she was like, no, not at all. I'm fully like in love with my boyfriend. Like, I don't care.
By that
I'm like,
point,
are
it
you-
had probably been like 5 months.
So at
maybe.
what point did you find out about Scandoval? Like, was it before this?
So we started hanging out, and he's, you know, he would get drunk, and because we would go out and stuff, and he would get drunk, and he would, you know, he would be in his feelings. And also, like, I started hanging out with him with all of these bombs started coming in. It's like once we like started like spending the night with, you know, each other or whatever, I'm like waking up like, what
People would
next?
talk
What
about it,
next?
too.
Oh my God, what's this morning? And I'm
I
like,
was very,
it's very heavy.
I was waking up daily to like stuff. Like it just was,
yeah.
it was never ending. And yeah, it was rough, obviously. But
how did you, I mean, despite whatever your critics or whatever, but you know, whether people think you deserved it or not, the hate that you received, the harassment that you received, like how did you deal with that? Because it was heavy, man. It was
at first I was drinking like crazy.
okay.
And then I realized like this is I mean, even leading up to all of that, I was drinking all the time, like almost pretty much every day, all day. And just like constantly just numbing myself to my life and shit. And anyways, and then you know, after that, it didn't stop. And then finally I was like, there's so many things that I can't help, you know, like I can't help like all of these things, but there's certain things I can control. And so I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking cigarettes. I just started working out and just like focusing on all the things that I could actually do that made me feel better. I started doing guided meditation. I was seeing a therapist, just kept busy. And honestly, like we had tour dates booked, like, you know, from when this, like before this, all this broke, you know, and I had to go out and do that. I look back at it as a very empowering moment and for myself, because I had to walk out with people that had scumbag and cheaters and one with a mustache and all this shit in the audience, wondering like what the fuck they're gonna see when they like come out there, like why they're just here to witness whatever it is,
The spectacle.
the spectacle of it all. And I had to like go out there stone sober, look at these people in their fucking eyeballs and be a lead singer of a cover band. Like it was like bungee jumping every show. But I'm so glad that I did it. I had people telling me, cancel it. If we would have canceled these shows, the band would have dissolved and it never would have, it would have been done. And I would not have gotten anywhere, but it was like, no, I need to like face it, go for it and do it. And I'm so glad that I did, because these people would show up wanting to like hate or bring signs or whatever. And then they would end up just having such a blast and like rocking out. And then like as they're leaving, maybe like post a quick video of them being like, yeah, fuck you, Sandoval. Yeah, you suck. But like they actually had a great time. You know what I mean?
No, I know.
They're like, for
listen,
the record, we did not have fun here. Okay.
I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen so many times where they'll be like jumping up in the air, like, take my phone, please, please. Fuck this guy.
For different reasons. When I was the villain on The Bachelor, I definitely had people who like asked for a selfie, were super nice, and then would like go online and talk shit.
Yeah.
I do want to point out for any potential haters and trolls out there, they love a timeline. You said Special Forces premiere, and technically it wasn't the premiere because I don't want people to be like, "Oh, you Halloween." I think because it premiered. I forgot when it premiered, but that was the day the cast got together for the first time.
It was like the press.
Yeah, it was like the press junket for it. So that was before the premiere. So I don't, I don't know. I don't want people to call you guys out on timelines if all of a sudden it was like, oh, that was
good.
Before.
I'm good.
I don't, just
I
just want to protect you guys in that department. So what was that like for you? I mean, I know you. So you heard about Scandoval. The world hates him. Everyone's just like, don't date this guy. I have said things,
you said a lot.
I've said a lot. We talk about reality TV on this show. I've spent a week with Tom on Special Forces.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting time. Like everyone else, he was like America's #1 villain, and I had no idea about Tom. And like everyone on that cast, everyone bonded. And it was just
you had no idea about me?
No.
Oh.
Not the person.
I
knew,
okay.
like I knew Scandoval. I knew about you as the character, but I never met you. And and we always say that, like when we talk about people on TV, it's just like there's an edit. Like we don't know these people. Like I'm definitely allow myself to be wrong about my opinions that I say on the show. If I have never met them in person, like I definitely don't always believe the edit, so to speak.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by that. But
okay.
Since then, like I got to know Tom a little bit, for his strengths and his weaknesses and things like that. Forgot where I was going with this, but yeah. Well, I guess the point is this like,
I'm glad you can say that because that happens with me sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm just like, where
you get long-winded, but I guess, and I've said this on the show multiple times, like, I said like Tom, I'm very critical of, I don't even know if you're friends with him, Jax Taylor.
Yeah.
And I've said this on the show, so I'll say it to your face. I'll say the difference between Jax Taylor and Tom Sandoval is I think Tom actually wants to be a good person. Whether you think he is or not, whether you agree with his moral compass or not, I think there's a sincere effort where I don't think Jax Taylor gives a shit. I honestly don't know if there's a human being inside there.
Oh, there's definitely a human being. And I know, look, me and Jax are very different people, but there is a human being in there.
Yeah.
He's just a different kind of dude. But I do understand why you would think that. I understand why you would think that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And again,
Sitting
I know
where you
better,
are,
I know better than you.
I would think
know,
the same thing.
I know him a little bit, but I know you better. And like, for example, like when I say more, I don't think we have the same moral compass. Like I think there's, no one does to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But you have different rules, and I have different rules. We all have different rules and boundaries, whatever. But I think a lot of criticism. This is back to my direct question for Victoria. I think most people, even if they were like meeting Tom and they would say, you know what? I don't know. It's like, I met him. It's not a bad guy, but like, I don't know if I let him date my sister type of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, sure. I'll hang out with the guy. He's a good hang. He's a good friend, but I don't know if I wouldn't introduce him to my sister or a friend that's a girl. And so I'm sure you heard stuff like that.
Oh.
How did you process that? And, how much did you kind of, we've all been the person who wants to change someone, that wants to fix someone, that wants to be like, you know what? Yeah, maybe they were bad before me, but I will turn them around.
Fix them.
Like, how did you wrestle with those criticisms, those voices, maybe those even internal thoughts? Like, how did you deal with that and kind of get through that so that your relationship could have a fair shot?
Well, we've both been in therapy, and I've obviously had to talk to my therapist about this.
Okay.
And because it is hard. It's really hard, like going online and hearing people thinking that I'm some dumb, naive girl, or that I'm dying to be on the show, or whatever else. I've heard it all, or just like
I think generally speaking, the internet just assumed you had alternative motives.
We got into
which-
therapy very early on in our
It's a couple? It's a couple.
Yes.
Wow.
Because I
couples
wanted it
and
to develop
individual.
Good for you
good.
guys.
Because I was like, hey, we should do, because I was like, we really love each other. So, and
Yeah.
my mom actually suggested this. She was like, you guys should like start therapy now to kind of prevent anything in the future,
Yeah,
and I was like,
develop
that's a really good
habits
idea.
now before like you develop bad habits for a long time and then you have to unlearn those bad habits.
And going back to where I was saying, like, me like seeing something online and like, giving him a little shit, I can't do that forever. I can't hang on to that. I can't always do that. I gotta let him grow, and that's me doing that is like gonna stop that. Do you know what I'm saying?
No,
Can
totally. It's
move
a
on.
total defense mechanism,
I
right?
also
It's like
don't wanna-
it's you kind of making sure. Like,
She
I'm
checks me.
scared.
interpreting,
She
but-
fucking checks me, dog.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
For
Though. But I'm
real.
saying, like, if anyone who we've all given people second chances, right? Friends, people we're in relationships with, strangers, people, a second chance for you would have been like, you met this guy, then you find out, oh my God, the internet hates him. He cheated on his ex-girlfriend, yada, yada. I'm assuming like you're saying you're probably giving him shit because it's like, I don't know, you barely know the guy. It's a new relationship. And you probably, if you weren't at least like one eye open, so to speak, that would have been kind of foolish on your part, right? Like
Oh,
you were
yeah.
taking a risk on a guy that maybe, well, it was a risk, right?
And now I fully know.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, okay, well, now I'm fully in it. He's my pain in the ass. Like, now I'm like, all right, this is my pain in the ass. I can deal with it. I got it.
So
like,
can I ask you, Tom, what are some bad habits that you've been able to unlearn?
I can just tell you that the way I approach relationships is completely different than what it's been in my entire previous of my life. And one thing about everything that I went through and put myself through in the situation that I put myself in is that I have to put myself and get myself to a position where I feel like I deserve somebody like her. And, there's all these people that are like, oh, I'm going to fix him. I'm going to fix him. It's not about her fixing me. I mean, obviously, I'm all ears and I listen to her and when things bother her because sometimes they're just old, like stupid, nonchalant things that you don't really think about that affect a relationship. But it really comes down to the person. It comes down to me wanting to, earn her love and wanting to be the best I can be and also feeling like in a sense of really guilty in the way that I've been in the past and wanting to be a better person and being really motivated to do so. And a lot of the things that I've, changed in my life is like, I don't go out like drinking anymore like the way that I used to. I'm not out all the time, like to all hours of the night. I don't do that shit. Also, like, it's been frustrating to me that like the shit that she has to do, I feel very guilty about it. The shit that she constantly has to deal with because of me and because of my fuck up and my mistakes and bad choices. And I don't like to say mistakes, by the way. I like to say bad choices because mistakes is like accidentally getting into a car accident. Bad choices is ownership. And I have to take ownership of what I did.
It's like a new Tom.
I'm just saying that like, I do feel bad about the shit that she has to deal with. It's not fair to her. But I also just want to say like, if people could just please be respectful of my girlfriend and our relationship and our committed relationship. I'm in a committed, loving, awesome relationship. Like this is my person. And, girls can be a little like whatever, disrespectful. And I just want people to like, please respect my relationship and where I'm at in my life. Like I'm serious about where I'm going, what I want to do, our future. We have goals. We have things we want to do together. And I'm all about it. And I'm 100% in.
I think that a part of the reason why so many women feel that they could so easily like disrespect me, like let's say we're at a show or something, girls will like come up and just try to like be all over him or like try to kiss him or like whatever, like, and I'm
Just-
sitting
Do
right
they know
there and
you're
I'm
there?
like,
Like they know it. Like,
And I'm like,
they know I'm right
and
there.
she gets pissed.
They
Rightly
don't.
so.
Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do. But I think that's coming from of what he did in his past. Like if I weren't his girlfriend, and knowing everything that happened in the past, I'd look at him like, oh well, he'd do it again. So
sure, yeah, they're all trying to bait him, I'm sure.
yeah, like
I had somebody DM me
but
literally like
it's not
very
like that.
recently saying like, hey, can you come to my wedding? I have lots of hot friends. Like, I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me with that shit?
But
Like,
you're a very hot guy. You're beautiful.
You're a fucking beautiful
Okay,
girl.
okay,
Like,
calm
come
down.
get the fuck out of here.
Calm down.
Look who's talking.
But that's
can
not
leave.
like.
Well, we'll tell you some stories.
I'm just
Or watch,
saying,
you know?
I love.
I think you like door number 2.
What was I even saying, guys?
Sorry, Victoria.
Yeah,
No,
this tells you how much I've drank. I literally had like a
Oh
sip
yeah,
of whiskey.
he'll have one drink now because I have this rule. I'm like, no drinking before podcast. No drinking before like carpets or this or that because it actually goes to his face, like to where like
No.
yes.
I'm just fucking with you.
Do you say data or data? Well, at my house, we say data. And for the longest time, I thought paying a fortune for my monthly data plan was just normal. That was until I found out that Mint Mobile and their premium wireless plans that start at just $15 a month. Say bye-bye to the overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bill, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. Ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. No matter how you say it, don't overpay for it. Shop data plans at mintmobile.com/VIALL. That is mintmobile.com/VIALL. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month 5 gigabyte plan required. Equivalent to $15 a month. New customers offer for first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
I recently cleaned out my closet. I was getting rid of all of this fast fashion, these clothes that I've been holding on to for years that I haven't reached for in so long. And I went to Revolve to get all new pieces for my closet. And when I tell you it is the go-to place for style destination, they have so many pieces. They have so many pieces for wedding guest dresses, for if you're a bride, like bachelorette trips. They have so many just like high-end pieces. They have lower-end pieces. Everything that they offer is such great quality and such good brands. They have something for every event that you would go to, whether it's a date night, weddings, engagement parties, spring refresh, festivals, concerts, vacation shopping, upcoming events, and parties. Revolve is my go-to place. They have some amazing brands like Lover and Friends, Amanda Uprichard, Norma Kamali, Helsa Agoldi, and Michael Costello. I recently just ordered a Norma Kamali dress for a New York bridal fashion week show I am going to, and I'm so excited to wear it. They also ship so incredibly fast. So if you need something quickly, Revolve ships in 2 days. Also, the Revolve Festival shop is open. So if you're going to any festivals, any of the festivals out there, they actually have a tab that is all curated for festival wear. So it's so easy to find things. They have like styling pairs. So if you're like, oh, I like this shirt, then like below it, it'll be like, you can wear it with these jeans and these shoes and these earrings. They make it so easy to curate any outfit. They're authentic. They're high quality products. They have new arrivals daily. They have inclusive sizing options from extra, extra small to 4X. It's also where I get all of my vintage Levi's. Allie Grace is on Revolve. If you're looking for a good vintage Levi, Revolve has everything that you could want. From last minute getaways to party dressing and seasonal upgrades, Revolve has you covered with fast 2-day shipping and easy returns all on them. And for a limited time, you can shop a curated selection of my favorite styles at revolve.com/VIALL and receive 15% off your first order with code VIALL. That's revolve.com/VIALL to shop my top picks and get 15% off your first order with code VIALL. Offer ends April 16th, so don't miss out.
Do you remember the line, "I wouldn't cheat that way"?
Is that from a country song or what?
That was from, well, I think we did make it into a song. It was on this podcast.
Oh God, are you cherry picking things?
No, listen, I'm really impressed with the, I don't like to call it mistakes. I like to call it bad choices.
Yeah, mistakes is not taking ownership.
That was
mistakes
like, that's a 360 degree, like different person than the person that was here on this podcast last time. But the reason I wanted to ask you that is because, when on Special Forces, when we talked about the whole situation and why I think that whole thing kind of went as long as it did and perpetuated. And it kind of felt like every time, whether it was this podcast or Howie's or whatever, you just got like more and more heat, right? And a lot of it was, and I get it. Like you were just, whether you were trying to explain yourself or other people thought you were justifying yourself, and that's what's so different about the mistakes versus bad choices is like you were talking about how clearly whatever was going on in that past relationship, you felt like your needs weren't being met.
I don't think either one of ours were.
Sure. But like it felt like a lot of people were saying like when you were talking that way, people were taking it as you kind of making excuses, right? So when we were talking, I remember at Special Forces and I was asking you, can you at least say like, well, I would never do this again? And you were like kind of resistant to saying that.
The reason why I was resistant to you, Nick, is because you came in all Dr. Phil, and I was warned about you going into Special Forces.
By who?
By my publicist.
Okay.
I was warned. No, different publicist. I was warned about you. Like, I was told that you were gonna that you had talked a lot of shit, like dragged me. Okay,
that's true.
And and that you were gonna take he's like, just wait. He's gonna try to take the opportunity to Dr. Phil you. And the reason why I wouldn't make that commitment is because you wanted me to make a vow to you. No, you said that. You literally said.
I didn't say make a vow to me.
Yes, you did. You said make a promise to me, Nick Viall, to never cheat again. And I'm like, dude, I'm not making any sort of like vow to you, Nick.
Okay, agree to disagree. But that's not really
that's
the point.
What you asked me to make a vow to you, dude.
All right, fair enough. But I'm just saying, it like with you guys are in couples therapy and all these things, right? And I guess I'm just curious, is like, have you guys talked about like, your relationship's relatively young, still very. I mean, it's been a year or so. You guys clearly are connecting, clearly in love. Like, have you guys talked about when things get bumpy or rocky, how are you going to communicate with each other, right?
Yeah.
And work through things so it doesn't get to a point where, not to again relitigate the past or anything like that, that like clearly you two were just like disconnected. What do you guys learned in therapy to allow yourselves to be a different relationship than the relationship you had in the past?
Well, from what I've heard and like seen on the internet and stuff, like they didn't have the same, wants and, with each other. But I told him, I'm like, don't waste my time. If you ever want to, go elsewhere, if you ever want to break up, just break up with me. And if you're not happy with something, I'm like, do we want kids? Like, well, do you want kids? And then, okay, how many do you want? But we have to be on the same page on everything. I'm like, don't waste my time.
16 kids.
I know, Tom, you definitely want kids, right?
16 of them.
You want 16?
No, he does
I'm
not
kidding.
want 16.
But
That is not happening.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm not popping out 16 kids, but I'm going to pop out 2.
You want kids.
Whether, with our, I don't want to go too much in the previous relationship, but there was a major disconnect.
Sure.
There was a massive disconnect, and it felt more of like a business partnership than anything. But either way, whether that was the case or not, the way I fucking handled it was absolutely atrocious. And
thank you.
And it doesn't fucking matter. And I will never, ever, again, like, I feel like I've been there, done that. Like, I'd never been in a relationship that long. I'd never done, as soon as we started dating, everybody's like, when are you going to put a ring on? It was like immediately we were pushed together.
Sure.
Which was great in the beginning. But as time went on, the differences in us really started to shine. And instead of us working on it, we just kind of drifted away. And it was just something which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It became a comfort thing. She was still like,
yeah, the relationship's over. Yeah.
It's done.
How do you guys help each other in general?
Oh, she helps me all the time. We
Sure,
help
but
each other, do the thing.
Because I'm, again, like, I'm not to compare,
like
right?
in what
this
way?
is relatively new, and that, that was
It
but like, it
feels
felt like you, right or wrong, it felt like in the past you felt less taken care of, that you seem to feel taken care of now. And what for you is the difference?
I don't want to say less. I don't want to make it like a taking care of thing, like it's all about my needs and all that stuff. I don't want to make it like
Listen,
that. We were just
every
more
relationship, you
independent.
need to take care of each other,
I-
right?
yeah.
You need to connect.
Yes.
You need to take care of each other. That's
Yes.
and for different reasons, and good times and bad, you need to.
But when I first met him, it was a shit show. He was so insecure. He felt so beat down. The world was going after him and everything. This man is so different now compared to when I first met him. The insecurity, like, he's so beautiful, like,
oh, baby.
that like, even just so many different ways. You were just so insecure, and now you feel like you're more yourself. You know yourself more. I do think that being with me, I'm so sorry to mention it again, but like me telling you like, hey, this isn't cool, like, and then I would soften up and I'd be like, would you do these things again?
No, it's hard, right? You know,
Yeah.
you think you see one thing, you get told another, it must be confusing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and I know too that like because of my past and what I've done, like there's different rules with me now, and that's something that I have to live with, and I do live with that, and I understand that, and I accept that. You know, I understand that. You know, on a normal people, you know, that haven't done what I've done, like they can have more freedoms and more things, but like as somebody who's done what I've done, like it takes time. It takes time, and I
Yeah.
get that.
well, in another, I mean, it is kind of, it is ridiculous, and you've said this, and I'll say it, but like, and it doesn't make it okay. But like,
No,
you know, the internet acted like you invented infidelity, you know, and it's a sad reality of relationships. And then like, and I think that's what's fascinating about Scandoval, because so many people were trying to like understand why it blew up the way it did. And as if, and
it's still somewhat of a mystery, but
Sure.
it's somewhat. I understand.
yeah, you became the poster child of that,
Yeah.
you know, probably unfairly so, but like, probably was a good lesson. And it seems like as difficult as it was, let me ask you this. Do you feel as shitty as that period was that like you're better for it? And would you trade that whole experience given what progress you seem to have made since?
Well, it's really, look, obviously, if I could go back and change, I would change
Yeah,
so much.
I'm
right?
not saying,
Right.
oh, I wouldn't do it, you know, and people, I don't want people to throw that in your face.
But-
I'm just
but
saying,
Meeting her
Yeah.
and being with her, it's like, who knows? You know what I'm saying? And so it definitely gave me a swift kick in the ass. You know what I mean? In so many ways. It was a real eye opener and a real, true, like hard knocks learning experience. And it definitely toughened me up in a lot of ways, and it gives you a hardcore reality check. You also get to see like how, you know, when they call like what I'm doing, being on a reality show, a double-edged sword. You see that double-edged sword. You see the one side sometimes a lot bigger than the other. But you know, it's been cool too. Like, you know, with moving on, seeing like going and doing something like Traitors, you know, and Special Forces, and then going to do Traitors, and just like, you know, coming back from something like that and moving on and moving to the future, like how, you know, it becomes exciting to like, you know, go from down here to like keep, you know what I'm saying? Like keep moving forward and keep going ahead and seeing new challenges and seeing like light at the end of the tunnel slowly get brighter and brighter and brighter. And that's been really amazing, especially with her and just in experiences in life, you know?
were you surprised, you know, as your time on Traitors kept going and you were still there, and you know, obviously,
I was
you know,
shocked.
that people were just, you know, and some, you know, you could see it online. People were just like begrudgingly being like, "Oh, fucking Tom," you know, like that must have felt good.
Yeah, it did. It did actually. Whether they were laughing with me or at me, I know they were fucking laughing.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, people were begrudgingly like rooting for you. There was a lot of like,
Yeah.
you know, if nothing else, people were glad you were on their television. You know, they could at least acknowledge they enjoyed watching you. You know, and that, yeah, like I said, that must.
Did you watch it?
Traitors?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Every
How good
episode.
was the doll
Pardon me?
challenge? How's
It was the best. I was laughing my ass off.
I like
It
the
was
insects
It was
moment
so
too.
funny.
I loved like Dylan's response to the insect challenges. They're like just like pouring on me. That was the
You
one
would have been the
thing.
I would have been the same as you.
Oh my god, it's fucking
Oh, that
I
gross,
was
dude.
very envious of Dylan's ability to like truly not give a fuck, and I could have gotten through it.
You
but
could have gotten through
I would have
it.
been like Tom,
It
where
just sucked.
I would have, you know, like I muscled through the whole thing.
Oh, as soon as I realized like I got all these things going to crawl on my hands, I was like, why do I need to see that? I'm just not gonna look. And I literally imagined like
Yeah.
little soft little ducklings and like cute little things crawling on my hands.
Mm.
But I'll tell you what was so gross is like you got these crickets and you got these freaking like cockroaches on you, and you have like a snake wrapping around your neck, and they're crushing these cockroaches and crickets and things on your neck, and they're like biting because they're like grasping for life. You know what I'm saying? Like it was really gross. And then, you know, finding like larvae and all that larvae or whatever, like in your pockets, like later. And just, that was the one thing that I was like really not looking forward to. Like, I don't know if you remember like Fear Factor. It's like, I could do all the other stuff, but like when they start eating, eating stuff like that,
It's
like,
not for me.
no way.
Did you think that the singing in the telephone challenge was going to be as hysterical as it was for us?
I had no idea. I actually doing it, I was like, this is so stupid. Like, I thought it was going to be boring and stupid. I didn't think, like, everybody's just like, you know, we're exhausted most of the time. Like, I was running off no sleep and coffee. And you get there and you could tell when they said this, even myself included, you're looking at this, you go, okay, so you got to listen to dolls and sing what they're saying backwards into a phone so like they can play it forward. Everybody kind of collectively was like, oh no, somebody else go. Like, oh no, so like nobody fucking wanted to do that at all.
And you're like, I'm Sandoval and the most extras. I can do this.
I was like, I'll do it because apparently nobody else here is musically. They're like, I don't know. It's like asking them to speak another language, which it felt like another language, honestly.
Did it feel like a bit of a relief for you to see positive things online for Tom?
I loved it, of course. I loved it. He's my baby. I'm like, I'm very, very happy.
She was like,
of course. Because now that I know everything, I'm always like, he doesn't look at anything on the internet. I'm always the one that's telling him stuff now.
yeah.
Because before it was
it
so brutal and so negative that like he didn't want to look at that. And he just is bad at going on
You can only take so
Instagram or
many
anything.
paragraphs of puke emojis
But
before you're just like,
now-
I'm good on this.
But like before, when it was really negative, I'd be like, hey, you want me to go through your DMs? And I'm like, report, bye. Like, because their Instagrams would get. Well, I'm just like, it was so bad. He would get death threats. I mean, like really brutal death threats.
People
It
find
was
out
really
where
bad.
I was going, and they would be like, "I'm gonna come meet you," and like,
I'm gonna
I would
like
just be
it would get
Did you
very.
have stalkers outside your house at all?
There were a few at times. Yeah.
Damn, it sucks.
Yeah.
But now it's
Yeah.
now it's like it's great.
Yeah,
Like,
does it
been a
feel
lot
like
better.
life's a little bit back to normal for you?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely more than a little bit. It's definitely gotten better, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate everybody, you know, who was cheering for me, rooting me on. Like, I really do appreciate that. It means a lot, you know, especially just, yeah, it was really nice. It was unexpected.
Can we talk about your glowing skin?
My glowing skin. Oh, thank you. I actually had a CO2 peel. Dr. Lakey, shout out to Dr. Lakey.
Shout out to
I
Dr.
gotta
Lakey. I was hitting up Tom to try to consider coming back on the show, and you were like, "Well, I can't right now."
I literally can't. My skin's peeling off my face. But
Did you take care of him in this time?
we
of
both
need?
did it together.
You did it together?
It didn't
Yeah.
really do much to me because
Well, you are a bit younger, you know. Us
Yeah.
old guys.
it didn't
have,
really
you
do
know,
much.
shit.
I was, but we looked insane. We looked so
Do you
crazy.
have
He,
pictures?
the first day, he wouldn't even look at me. I was like, babe, am I really that ugly?
Well, yeah,
right
it's like I've
No.
seen other people do this shit online. It's
I was
freaky as
so
shit.
swollen.
Is it the same thing Tamara Judge did?
I'm not sure.
I
Is it?
think-
Yeah. Okay.
It's been confirmed.
Okay.
I saw that and I was like, holy shit, this is scary. But she looked great. A
Yeah.
couple weeks later.
It's intense, but yeah, they did a great job, and it really
When
helped.
did you want to do that?
Just cause, like, I felt like it was something I could use, you know.
You got to keep the face card fresh.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like, you know, new beginning, moving forward to the future, you know, shed off some of that stress drinking that I did back in the day. You know,
just healthier lifestyle. Just like
yeah, I'm not gonna do that
like
shit if I'm
not the drinking all the time anymore. No, like just taking care of our skin. He's been so good about working out. I'm trying.
baby.
Yeah, just like I'm always on him about like drink water. Just like just being healthier in general. It's better for our minds. It's better for everything.
I ran into your buddy, Tom Schwartz,
Yeah.
like in January, or like maybe it was New Year's Eve. And I was like, oh, have you seen much of Sandoval lately? And he kind of gave me the old, like, my friend's in love. So I don't see much of him at all. Has the dynamic duos, is it still
yeah.
intact?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, he just came to Minnesota. We were in Minnesota together. Like, my band was there. He came out there. I blew the Viking horn. We had a lot of fun. It was great.
At like the
No. just
Okay.
at the show or whatever.
Oh.
But it was really fun. But I just don't go out the way that I used to. I've become much more of a homebody and just like focused on getting stuff done, doing things, staying healthy. Yeah. I can tell you, man, like I took 8 months off drinking. It like fully,
No.
no,
You were
nothing.
sober for 8 months.
8 months.
Wow.
I just quit and I didn't compensate with weed. It wasn't like California sober. Like I was fully, sober. And
You got some shit, as sometimes you do on Traitors, and people were bringing up like the sweating
dude,
and
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
accusing you
Annoying.
of taking other substances.
you
to
can ask
just
Jax.
Put that to bed.
You can ask Jax. I don't do fucking cocaine. I've
Okay.
never done fucking cocaine. I will never do cocaine. It's not my jam. It's not what I do. I've never done that shit.
That's
I
why
don't
it's
touch
so
that
annoying.
shit.
Is because he really doesn't.
That's what's so like. If I was like a casual every once in a while user or whatever, I still wouldn't be doing it on that show.
But he's actually,
But
like,
I
against
don't
it.
do fucking cocaine, so that's why it's so annoying to be accused of something like that. And I can tell
Yeah.
you, it sure as hell was hotter than it is in this room right now. In that room, and it was 23 people, all kind of stressed out, and I was wearing a very thick wool sweater, and I wasn't feeling great. And I wasn't the only one. I thought we were done like with our breakfast scene. So I'm like, I'm ripping off this giant thick wool sweater immediately. Dylan did the same thing. They just cut him out. He was literally sitting in a white tank top, like just chilling. They're like, dude, you got to put your shirt back on. They told me the same thing. I was like, I'm fucking dying in here. It's so hot. Like it was really hot.
Yeah, Dylan did say it was hot too. He was like, I feel lucky that I had a
Yeah,
white tank top.
he also was like,
There was
I'm
a-
lucky that they didn't show me either because he took his shirt
There
off.
was somebody else that pretended like it was cold.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Well, it's good to hear you cleared that up.
yeah.
Life in general can be chaotic, but if you're in charge of order fulfillment for an e-commerce business, you know that it's your own special kind of chaos. But with ShipStation, you can count on your day-to-day remaining calm. Save hours and money every month by shipping from all your stores with one login, automating repetitive tasks, and finding the best rates among all the global carriers. You can focus on other parts of your business because you never have to worry about shipping and fulfillment again with ShipStation.
You never need an upgrade. ShipStation grows with your business no matter how big it gets. It's the fastest, most affordable way to ship products to your customers with discounts up to 88% off UPS, DHL, Express, and USPS rates, and up to 90% off FedEx rates. Seamlessly integrate with services and selling channels you already use and manage orders on one easy dashboard. Deliver a better customer experience, get shipments out the door faster, and keep customers happy with automated tracking updates with your company's branding. Over 130,000 companies have grown their e-commerce business with ShipStation, and 98% of companies that stick with ShipStation for a year become customers for life. Calm the chaos of order fulfillment with the shipping software that delivers. Switch to ShipStation today. Go to ShipStation.com and use code Viall Files to sign up for a free trial. That's ShipStation.com, code Viall Files. So what's the future hold for you guys?
Honestly, I don't know. I got shows coming up. I want to get my podcast going again, working on that.
There was a lot of speculation about how all that in the past affected, like, obviously your ability to earn income. You were getting a lot of, losing deals, and I don't even know if that happened, but like, do you feel...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that is true.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you in a better situation now, and do you feel like things have taken a turn? And in addition to fans letting up and, less and less hate coming your way, do you also feel like,
Yeah.
like life's not only getting back to normal with relationships or with fans, but also your ability to do your work or make a living?
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, it's obviously not where it used to be, but it's definitely bouncing back for sure and has gotten better. And there are things happening and I'm really excited about it. Like, it's really awesome. It feels like a gift, to be able to do that again. Because when you lose something like that for so long, it's like you kind of get used to like, okay, it's never going to happen again, but it's starting to happen again. And it feels really good. It feels nice to be, there's other show opportunities coming up and like other things like that. It feels really good for myself because it shows that I am valuable TV. I'm valuable being on TV. I'm valuable to a show. And it felt really good to like hear that and see that with Traitors and feel that way even like with Special Forces. And I'm sure you felt that way too, because you were very valuable on that show, Special Forces as well. You did great. I mean, you won.
Thanks, buddy.
You did
Yeah, that
awesome.
was a rewarding experience, that show. I think
Yeah,
for all
and-
of us. I mean, that show is designed to be rewarding.
And now River
That looks
Rose gets to
brutal.
see you kick
Now River
ass
Rose gets
and
to-
win
yeah.
Special
She
Forces.
was
That's
just,
got to be an awesome feeling, man.
I heard her heartbeat right after we got done filming, so it was a very cool,
That's awesome,
very
man.
cool experience. You recently said that Vanderpump was toxic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Of course it
Do you want
was.
to elaborate?
By the way, River Rose is so pretty.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
The name or just her?
the name.
thank you.
I haven't.
Both.
I'm sure she's
She's a stunner,
beautiful
yeah.
too.
She looks
yeah.
like she.
But I
from what
love
saw,
that
I feel
name.
like she kind of has your eyes.
Well, I think she has my mom or her other grandma's eyes because I have brown eyes, but she has blue eyes.
But I'm just saying the
love-
shape.
She looks like me though.
The shape.
she
I
looks
love
like
that
me.
name.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
That's cute.
that's really cute.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys have a kid, you're welcome to use it. But I guess I don't know if you spoke elaborate on that, what you meant
Well,
by
I
that,
mean,
or if that was just a statement. But I'm
That's what was
curious.
so great about Traitors too, and Special Forces.
Well, it's a different show.
Yes,
obviously.
with Vanderpump Rules, of course those shows are toxic. I mean, they're rewarding bad behavior.
Sure.
You're supposed to show up, doing your job is showing up and having the one conversation about the one thing you don't want to talk about with the one person you don't want to talk about it with. You know what I mean? The most uncomfortable, awkward, like feel nauseous in your stomach, like dry mouth conversations all the time after, a couple to several drinks. You know what I mean? And maybe like a little bit of lack of sleep if we're on and at least a little bit of lack of sleep if we're on a trip. So it is. And it's nerve wracking too, because they film a scene, they film something like me going to meet up with Lala for lunch, and it's shot for an hour and a half. And if we're lucky, we get 5 minutes of that. So they have all the power to show, which I would see happen in Vanderpump Rules,
Sure.
if
Yeah.
I keep pushing you in the arm, pushing you in the arm, pushing you in the arm, and then you finally go, Tom, stop, you're an asshole, stop doing that. What they'll do is they'll cut
Like a
out me
show that
pushing
just-
you in the arm 5 times and just get me
Sure.
pushing you calling me an asshole, and then they create the debate. They create the debate online. Whose side you on? Are you team Nick or you team Tom? And I saw, I've been on the show with other cast members who abuse that and do that, and to try to provoke
Oh,
you
you felt like
because
they kind of
because they know they're going to keep heckling you, going after you, attacking you till you finally snap. And then they don't show the heckling, like the lead up to like all the heckling and all the badgering. And then they show you them saying it one time or something once, and then you getting upset, and then cut, print on the, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Speaking of toxic, one person that I've been even more critical than I ever was of you was your past castmate, James Kennedy,
yeah.
who was incredibly hard on you when Scandoval was going on. And say what you want about what you did, but for me, what he's been accused of by multiple people, I think is unforgivable. And I think it's a certain kind of person that I really don't think you are.
Oh,
you
please
s-
don't compare me to James Kennedy.
No, he's saying that
Yeah,
you're
that's saying,
not.
thank you.
I'm literally saying, for all the
Yeah.
criticisms you got, person I've gotten to know,
We're completely different people.
Well, despite whatever flaws you may have, I really don't think you are capable of being physical with women.
No.
And clearly, I felt like, I had gotten to know James a little bit, seemed like a nice guy, but then you kind of heard all these rumors in the past, but you don't really know. And then that stuff comes out, and I've since talked more to Chris and Dodie, but where do you stand with him at all? And do you have any thoughts and feelings on, because quite honestly, I was very disappointed in how Lisa has handled it and what seemingly she seems to cover for him in ways that I don't think she covered for other people. But do you have anything to say on the topic?
Yeah, especially considering James and I's past. Yeah, he was getting chants going like Sandoval's a liar, and but unlike James Kennedy, I'm not going to kick him while he's down. I'm sure he's dealing with a lot. But with that being said, whether there's alcohol involved or not, there's absolutely no excuse for a man to put his hands on a woman. And also, there are a lot of previous other allegations, and where there's smoke, there's fire. And that's all I want to really say about that.
Can I ask you, why do you think Lisa has the position that she does?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. That's on her. I don't know.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah.
But thanks for allowing me to ask the question because I know I'm sure it's not super easy.
And I think for Jax, like I'm actually really proud of Jax for being
Yeah. Okay.
sober, because that's gotta take a lot, like to own it to the world, that to admit it and everything. That's gotta take a lot of courage to even do that in the first place.
His critics, me being one of them, would say it just seems like every time there's some sort of vulnerability from Jax, it always seems to be right around when a new season of whatever the fuck's coming out, and it sometimes comes across as self-promotion.
Well, he has been sober.
Okay.
Like whether it happens to be around the beginning of the season or not,
It's fair.
he's still doing it.
You seem to, even Jax, because Jax took advantage of Scandoval to benefit himself.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm not Jax.
Okay. You still have a soft spot for Jax.
I just don't like to. I do not feel good when somebody is down or when they're like going through it, like dogpiling on them. That is not a good feeling to me. I feel like they're already getting it enough, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to be that person. And I don't know if it's necessarily a soft spot or what. When I see that everybody is dogpiling on somebody who's really trying to like Jax, for instance, with somebody who's really trying to do something like every day, you got to do this every day. When I stopped drinking, I smoked a lot of cigarettes and I drank all day. And to stop doing that it's like an all day, every day challenge. And you don't have anything numbing you. All you have to distract you is just trying to keep yourself busy and focused. And on top of that, your world is crumbling. So it's like Jax's world is crumbling, going through divorce, all that stuff. He's got, Cruz, and, he's been getting a lot of hate and stuff like that. And for him to be sober during this time, I sent him, the last text I sent him was like, listen, you are being very powerful right now. Do not let anybody else take your power away from you.
What do you say?
He really appreciated it because I saw some shit came out about him, just like dogging him. And I'm like, this to me feels like something that would be like, fuck it, nobody cares. Nobody really gives a shit. It's all for nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just going to fucking go out and get shit-faced and do some coke.
Do you think I should be open to giving him a little bit more grace?
Yeah. I mean, look, that's up to you.
I mean, but I'm asking your opinion.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's one of those things where Jax famously loved to say on every reunion, he would be like, I'm working on myself. I'm a work in progress. But like, it was like, he just was saying that shit. It's like, he had like a pull string, that you pull it and he'd say like 10 different things, you know what I mean? And that was one of them. But now he's actually doing it. So that's where I got to give him credit. And to me, that's evolving. And also, I think having a son and knowing, I mean, obviously you having a daughter, it's like, that you are a model for that person. You're an example of life and how to be. And I think that is really starting to like hit him. If it hasn't already. I don't hang out with Jax like a ton. I don't. But,
Would you consider him a friend or just someone you're supporting from afar?
I consider Jax a friend. And I mean, we don't hang out and talk every day. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
But I don't have like a ton of people that I do that with as it is.
But you don't have any animosity, or you're not distancing
not
yourself
this
or
week.
anything.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Fair enough.
No, we're cool. He's Jax. He annoys me sometimes, but I've known him for a long time, and that's that's just who he is, and that's our friendship, and that's what he stays in that place of our friendship where it's at, and it's cool. Like, but when I see somebody who's really, really actually doing something, when I see somebody piling on them, it's like I feel as a friend that I need to encourage him, and I will encourage him, and I will champion for him, and I will be there for him because I know what it's like. I know what it's like when people lose hope in you and like completely give up on you.
Yeah, man, I'm proud of you, man. Like you've come a long way.
Thanks, man.
And I think,
Thank you.
I think people are seeing, I mean, fucking the internet's everything. Word throws the words like narcissist and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, you're hardly perfect. That's for sure. And certainly
no, I'm
at
not.
times can be self-centered and selfish. And So as OR, but like, you know, I hate it when people like dehumanize people for making mistakes and things like that. And I'm glad people, whether they
bad
want to like
choices.
you or not, or whether they want to fuck with you or not, whether they would introduce you to your sister or not, I'm glad they can see like the human side of you, because I feel like they lost that a little bit.
Yeah.
and it's nice to see.
Even my mom was like, because my mom watched.
Oh yeah, what is she?
My mom watched a show.
Vanderpump?
Yeah.
So what did you
So she told me, and she was like, no.
And what did you say to your mom?
I was like, I like give him a chance. I really like him. And
what does mom say today?
She had to meet him, and she had to like, you know, it took a minute, but now she loves him. She absolutely loves him.
I love
My
her mom. I love her
my
family.
dad absolutely loves him.
Really?
Yeah.
Whose idea was it getting into couples therapy?
My mom actually suggested.
I feel like it was kind of a suggestion
My-
for all of
my
us, but I
mother.
was very adamant about it.
Suggested
Just say
it.
her mom.
'Cause
Yes.
I try to,
Because my mom does that herself.
you know, sometimes you come up with the same idea around whatever, but we notice some things happening, especially with, you know, her like peeling back the layers of the onion and like finding shit out. It was creating stuff like, and it had, and it continued to, but we had to figure out a healthy way to deal with that. And on top of that, I was like, it's so much easier to learn good habits now
To
than to
preventative.
unlearn habits,
Yeah.
bad habits
Yeah.
later.
I mean, therapy is it's better when used like a bicycle helmet rather than reconstructive surgery, I always say.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
That's a
Nice,
good.
man.
Yeah, I like that.
What's your favorite thing about Victoria?
Well, as gorgeous and beautiful as she is, she's so down to earth, so cool, and just so loving and so nurturing. She's really fun and spontaneous. We're really spontaneous together at times, and we push each other. We really kind of like pick up where the other one leaves off. We had the best first date
I knew you were
ever.
about to go there.
Ever.
Why?
It just
it was
like
the best first date.
it was just like, first of all, it like kind of came together like last second. It was like, wait, should we do this date? We planned on having a date, but like, let's not. And I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's do it. And so,
You're pretty exhausted.
yeah. And so we, you know, I think
And
I
then
was,
we had it at Craig's.
yes,
Back at Craig's.
Deliberately because that's where you guys met, or that was just because
no,
No.
it just happened.
just
We both
happened.
liked the place, and we ended up getting, we ended
Espresso
up going,
martinis.
yeah, we had
I'm
some
kidding,
espresso
'cause we're tired.
martinis. And we sat down and we ordered a bunch of food. She had never had oysters before. In fact, she said, she was like, you can order. I was like, what do you like? And she's like, anything but oysters. I was like, okay, can I get some oysters? And I ordered some oysters because I was like, how long has it been since you've had them? Like, let me like do them up for you. Like, let me add them in yet, everything. And I did. And I was like, just try it once. And she tried it. And I actually have a video of it, but her trying
you like
oysters.
I love them
Oh,
now.
really?
It
Now they
was-
won't fuck with seafood.
he just did his little concoction or whatever, and I was like, I can't believe I'm about to try this. And then it was great. And then
We literally just had oysters yesterday.
yeah. Then we get up.
What's
You can tell
we
the
ended
rest.
up, we
You can
ended
tell
up
the rest.
we ended up having sex in the bathroom at Craig's. It was her idea.
Sorry, Craig.
Yeah.
I don't think Craig cares.
Yeah, I think he likes it actually.
Yeah.
And then we like.
I think there's a lot more weird things that go on in those bathrooms.
We ended up rushing into like what
Wait,
was it, the Naughty
Naughty
Pig?
Pig. Went and just ran in there.
On
And
your
just-
first date,
Yeah, we
sex
like
in the Craig's bathroom.
yes.
Yeah.
And
And
then-
then
Which men's or women's?
women's.
Yeah.
And then right after that, we
In a
just ran.
stall?
The
or
gender-
like,
the
do you have
gender
to lock
neutral- it was
the gender
the-
neutral.
The
Yeah.
gender neutral one that's just one like you close it, it's just one person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's discreet.
And then we ended up running into the Naughty Pig
and then we
and
just
taking like the best Polaroids, pretty racy. And then we ended up at, what was it?
I thought that was it. Oh no,
No.
we went to Barney's. to meet up
Barney's, yeah,
with
we
our
went to
friend
Barney's.
Legendary.
And then
Scott.
yeah. And then we ended up getting the food to go, and then we ate it like we got home.
We had a fun little ride back,
Yeah.
but we won't tell all the details.
And did the second date start the next morning?
Yeah.
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 Okay. Obviously, when you met Tom, you had to hear about his past. But when you met Tom, we also had to hear a little bit about yours and some of the people you've dated in the past.
Oh.
Do
Oh
you
gosh.
do you care like Do you care about that?
I mean,
Do you care about people talking about your past?
Are you okay? What's
Wow. Do you have more? You have a couple. You have a couple famous boyfriends. No.
Which one are you talking about?
Wait, can I get some more whiskey?
Leo. Did you date Leo? Is that true? Yeah, not true.
So
Can I get a little
okay.
more whiskey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tom needs a drink.
No, it doesn't. I mean,
So
I thought you were a virgin. What?
Sorry to break it to you. So,
Maybe.
him and I are still really good. We're not really good friends now. We, if we see each other in passing,
You're cool.
we're cool. Yeah, I'm actually closer to Toby McGuire. It's his really good friend than
Blue.
and Blue. Yeah, they're great. I've introduced him to Blue.
Did you guys
and Toby.
date, or were you just friends? That actually was a thing, or
we had like a little thing or whatever. We would hang out like as friends for most of the time, and I think that just like so many girls were so like we would go out and we'd meet up, and then all girls would just like swarm him and just like stare at him, and it was just so freaky. I'm like, oh my god, like what is going on? Like, and then he I think he liked the fact that whenever I'd hang out with him, I'd just treat him like a normal person, because he is a normal person, just very successful and great at his job, and and we were just, I mean, we had a little thing, but we weren't like in a relationship, but we,
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have other famous exes?
There's one I'm not going to really
Okay.
bring up, and then the other one I don't really like right now or ever, so because he wasn't very nice.
Okay.
But so I won't bring him up either.
Cool.
They don't deserve that from me.
Understood. Where do you stand with the rest of your like Lala? Are you pretty much kind of that was work and you kind of moved on and it's you and Schwartz and kind of no one else, or have you?
No, I actually was talking to Sheena. I know she was when she was on The Masked Singer. We
Okay.
were talking about that,
Oh, yeah.
and I talked to Lala, a couple weeks ago or so. Checked in. I mean, obviously we're in different places in our life, and we're both homebodies in our own way. But yeah, I mean, I still talk to some people like now and again. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. Like when you're on a reality show like that for 12 years. And you're not filming, it's like you almost get used to just like cutting yourself off kind of for a little bit, like from everybody,
Yeah.
because you really enjoy the time away. So it's like we're almost like having to like learn how to like reconnect again in a way where it's like we don't have to watch what we say. We don't have to, and which has been, I gotta say, man, obviously the way the show got canceled, or not canceled, but recasted, it sucked to find out like that and to have it happen then. But it's been really nice. Like I'm really enjoying like being in a relationship with somebody who, doesn't have to go through that, where we're not getting questioned on what we had for dinner like last night, and then, how many times I wiped my ass in the morning. Like it's literally like it feels so invasive, man.
Yeah,
and it's so nice.
Would you guys ever, if Bravo called?
Oh, they're actually calling right now. Hello, Bravo? Hey. Oh, yeah? Babe, you want to do it? What?
You're so funny.
She said, you're so funny. We'll talk later. Sorry, I wasn't that good, but.
Yeah, we'll use that, no problem. But no, yes, you don't care, don't want to leave. Anything's possible, but no.
I mean,
I like the idea of not really doing it. Does seem a bit toxic
Yeah.
from what I've seen, and
They don't have your
what you
relationship
said
in
earlier.
in their best interest.
Yeah, what you said earlier, like
that
they
makes sense.
cut things in certain
Yeah.
shows that I've noticed now that I'm watching more of like reality stuff, and can make somebody look a certain way and whatever. I don't know. Well, it depends on like what kind of show it would be.
yeah, and one
Do
thing
you know
that
what
would
I'm
be
saying? Like,
one thing that would be different if they did do something is it wouldn't be Vanderpump Rules again. It would be coming. I'm sure it would be coming into something sort of a different experience, because what ends up happening is like her being my girlfriend. It's like she would just be Tom's girlfriend instead of like Victoria Lee Robinson. Coming into a situation like now, or if they did something different or pivoted, she would come in on an equal playing field. Because how, I don't know if you've noticed on Vanderpump Rules, but like the new people that come in, there's a lot of like, I don't do it, but there's a lot of hazing that goes on and a lot of like ganging up on
We
the
have a
new
newbie.
person.
Yeah, there's like a
I've never been that way. I've always been the opposite. What would be nice is if that did happen, at least there wouldn't be that. You wouldn't be getting hazed by people the way you would have if you would have came on Vanderpump Rules. Like you would have ganged up on or felt like you didn't have a
I
voice.
mean, I think I would be fine. I think I would be fine.
Yeah,
but-
you'd kick some ass, actually.
She's
a
But-
badass.
As far as your guys' relationship, are you guys just taking it easy, slow? Like, do you believe in marriage?
Yeah.
Do you guys talk about that stuff yet, or is it too soon?
Yeah, we talk about it.
Okay.
We have to talk about it. Like I said earlier, it's like if we're not on the same page, I don't want to waste my time.
Okay.
We talk
But that's
about
what you
kids,
guys
we
both
talk
want.
about
for-
But
marriage.
we're
we
not
talk
saying we're going to
about-
get married
No,
right
no,
now
but
or anything.
listen, like
talk
you
about
said,
having
like you said,
sex
you're
in outer
adults. I
space.
mean, as if it is part of the plan, though.
We
Yeah.
did talk about having sex in outer space.
Good
last
for
night.
you.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Nobody has
I looked it up.
officially-
I looked it up and nobody has done it yet. And so
Yeah.
I'm
You guys
like,
can have sex in our
haven't- we
We had
bathroom.
haven't-
sex in-
hopefully we'll be the first ones to do it in outer space.
So what's the deal with you and Chrishell?
Well, I'll tell you a story, actually. For Valentine's Day, we went back to Craig's because it was like right after our like 1 year anniversary. And we had dinner there. And it was so funny. When we were walking into Craig's, they're like asking me, like TMZ's there. And they're like, hey, so, because it's in the midst of Traitors. And they're like, so like, what's going on with you and Chrishell? Blah, blah, blah. Like asking me. And I'm like, oh, we're best friends. We're like, just joking around. They go in there. And then we're sitting there at dinner. We end up running into Tara Reid and her boyfriend Nate. And we had
love
a
Tara?
them.
yeah, Tara. Yes. She's so sweet. She's super
She's so
cool.
sweet.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
you were. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She
And,
was at Craig's that night too when you guys
yeah.
met.
Yeah.
We
And
actually
Nate-
ended
yeah.
up to be a double date.
Yeah, we ended
Oh,
up
really?
making a double
Yeah.
date.
That's great.
Her boyfriend Nate's so cool. Like,
No, she's
love
very
them.
sweet.
She's
Yeah.
a sweetheart.
Yeah.
She's super cool.
She looks great now,
Does
too,
she?
by the way.
Oh
Good for
yeah.
her.
Oh, my
She
gosh.
does. She looks really good. Yeah. So we're there and get up. Like we're all talking. We're like, get up, use the bathroom, and I walk by the same room we were in, and I see a group of people standing up to like take a picture, and
That you guys were in.
yeah, that we were in like after Special Forces.
The private
press
room.
Yeah, the
something.
private.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
know
private
what you're
room.
talking-
And I lock eyes with Chrishell. She's in that room taking a picture. And I was like, holy shit, babe. Like, Chrishell's in that room. And I was like, we came back and I was like, you know what? I'm going to send them. I knew she saw me too. Like, it just happened to be one of those things. I looked in and it was like, we literally looked at each other and she like looked away. And I was like, oh my gosh. And,
And Tom has one drink and he's already like, woo, because we
Yeah.
don't really drink.
And I
anymore.
was like, you know what? I'm gonna send them. I'm gonna send them around the shots. And so I sent them around the shots. And the waiter told me, they're like, "Are you kidding me? What? Sure." Like I was just like, let's, you know what I mean? Let's let bygones be. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, there's not really any real beef between you two, is there?
no. I mean, it was.
I guess she's friends with your ex or whatever, and she wanted to have her back or something.
God, her story has changed quite a bit. It went from. I remember when I watched that. I mean, I got sent that part of the podcast, that clip
What part of the podcast?
of when she
When
said
she was here.
when she was here.
Okay.
Yeah,
I forgot what she said.
she said something along the lines of, "I went up to Tom to tell him that like I followed Ariana on Instagram."
Sure.
Okay, and
Like she's a girl's girl or something.
yeah, and I'm like, when we did Special Forces, and obviously like you have a certain feeling towards me, like I get it. I fully get it. And especially back then, like I fully understand. I didn't go in Special Forces even knowing that you had said a lot of shit about me or whatever. I didn't take anything out on you. I didn't
Yeah.
treat you anyway. And in fact, I felt
Yeah.
like we bonded.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You definitely don't. To your credit, like you said, you don't.
I don't do that
You
shit.
don't stoop to whether it's stooping to people's level or fighting fire with fire. You don't do that.
No, and I don't do that. I don't like to do that. I don't think it's cool. And so going into something like that, we shared a car together on the way to the castle for the first time, and Dolores was there, and I think Jeremy was in the car, and we're all just like talking and just like whatever, like. And she was like, just so you know, I follow Ariana on Instagram, and I'm like, that's totally cool. I get it. You're a girl, like she's massively successful. She's a hero now. Like I fully understand. I also like Sierra's there. I know Sierra follows her. I know Dorinda follows her. Like everybody, Dolores, like I knew like probably if these are reality women in a castle, like on Traitors, I'm assuming that at least 50% of them probably follow my ex.
Sure.
It's no big deal. When we took our blindfolds off, you know, as a poker player, do you ever play poker? I don't play all the time, but you play. When somebody like sits up in their seat and they look down and they like have to like readjust themselves and they're like thinking about I gotta like, that's what happened when we took the blindfolds off. I clocked it. Tony right next to her clocked it. Like I asked Danielle, I said, give me 2 names. And one of them was Chrishell, even though she was a traitor. But anyways, that's all it was, is I was just trying to play the game. And when I brought that up, her reaction to me, I didn't see it at the time. I didn't see it as a possibility. I'm like, there's only 2 reasons why somebody would react this way. Because when you see traitors go after each other, you'll notice they throw more personal digs in. You know what I mean? Like if you watch like when somebody else gets accused, like who's not a traitor, they're just like, okay, I understand what you feel. I'm definitely not a traitor. I'm a faithful. This is why. They don't go, oh yeah, well your mother never loved you, or like, you know, they don't sit there and say that shit. You definitely saw Bob the drag queen and like Boston Rob doing that. You saw Carolyn and like Danielle doing that because they're traitors, because they're being really defensive. That's what I thought initially when she said that. I was mortified when she like brought up the whole scandal and
so you're just like, yeah, you must be okay. That makes sense.
So I thought that initially, and her story changed immediately from I follow Ariana on Instagram to now changed to Ariana and I are friends, so you're personally coming after me. And she really has been trying to like sell that story, which is bullshit. And she knows it because she's changed it back to on your podcast. Like, we're not even really friends. Like, yeah, we follow each other. And it's not like we talk. Like, it was annoying to see that happen. And later on, as I realized that she's not a traitor, I'm like, okay, why is she doing this? She's not doing this because she's a traitor being defensive. She's doing it to ride the coattails of this scandal, knowing that she'll have a platform of people that already hate me that will fucking get behind her. And that's exactly what happened. What are your thoughts on that?
It's possible. I mean, I think Chrishell's Chrishell's no dummy.
Oh, you should have seen it too. They edited this part out. Like after she said all that stuff, like, I could see you doing this because you know what you're capable of, all this. Right after she was done saying that, she goes like this. She goes, I don't even feel safe being this, comfortable being this close to you. Like while we were sitting at the it was like a full thing. And I'm sorry, like I got to put her on blast. Like that was some fucking bullshit. And it like hurt my feelings. It hurt me. And she keeps trying to like paint this picture, which I obviously wasn't. And, and then she goes on to Watch What Happens Live and says that like I was sweating because I had lots of Coke and I had sugar running through my veins.
That's not cool. She said that?
That's really...
She said
she
that.
accused you of...
She literally goes...
She goes... it was like
he had lots of Coke and there was lots of sugar running through his veins.
Okay. Yeah.
That's not nice.
It's a little dirty.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So I just wanted you to be aware of that because I saw like what she said on your podcast and I was like, what? I was like, what?
I would, if I were you, I'd be upset.
Yeah, it was frustrating to deal with. And I did not talk to that girl. She also added in nice little things like, oh, all he did was talk about himself. And I don't know if you remember me eating in the castle standing up all the time. I literally would eat standing up so I could go around and just like try to figure out who the traitors were. We didn't have time to talk about shit like that.
Hey, listen, reality TV, I mean, I know that happens. I know, like, in Bachelor world, it's not as toxic as Bravo world, but, like, if you're popular, people want to fuck with you, and if you're not popular, people will like to pile on because, like, it's good for their engagement,
Yeah.
It happens, sadly, but...
Yeah, I noticed that because it had been sent my way, and I was just like, "What?" I was like, "What is this shit?" It's all good though.
Water
I
on the
mean,
bridge.
Whatever. I wish her the best. Go do your own thing, but like, just fucking leave me alone. Just fucking leave me alone.
All right. Well, we'll end it on that. Tom, thanks for coming back, man.
Dude,
I'm
thank you,
glad
man.
this episode went so much different in the best possible way. Victoria, it was an absolute pleasure meeting you and getting to know you. And
thank you for having me.
You guys seem like a really great couple. And
Thanks,
I'm really
man.
happy for
Thank
you
you.
guys. And
I'm so happy for you too. You
Thank
and
you.
Natalie.
yeah,
Oh my gosh, River
I wish she
Rose.
was
Like
here.
I'm so.
she wishes she was here too. She's not unfortunately feeling the best, but I'm just really happy for you guys. Happy for you. I'm glad you were able to turn a corner. And like as I got to know you on Special Forces, it did, like, I know you don't believe this, but like, it was frustrating to see you it felt like you were being resistant to just turning a fucking corner and growing from that experience. And it clearly seems like that has happened. And often is the case, like when we meet a good woman, us men, it can really help us if we're willing to do the work. And it seems like you have. And I'm really happy for you, man.
I'm inspired.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks, baby.
All right. Well, wishing you guys the best. And maybe we'll get invited to the wedding.
Yeah.
Great.
Hell yeah.
All right.
We want to do a little spontaneous thing.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, we like spontaneous.
Thanks for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode.
Thank
we'll
you, Nick.
see you tomorrow. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.